right, here we go with number 1. So here's the easiest rhythm, and then slightly more difficult for 2 bars. Just really, really focus on the strumming direction. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 1, 2, and then 3, 4. 120, 1, 2, 3, 4. 180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And let me check something here. Yeah, alright, let's go for the 4 repeats. I'll do it at 160. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, number 2. So increasing the amount of strumming from one bar to the next and then repeating that. So again, just really, really focus on those strum directions, okay? 60 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and then done. 120, 1, 2, 3, 4. 180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Screwed up. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, down to 160 for the repeats. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the newest solo part. All
Alright, so I'll play this and then demonstrate again how to do the bend thing, or program the bends in case you want to do that. So you don't have to do the bends. You don't have to do a bend. I mean, you got to do the bends that I wrote because that's part of the program here, right? Or part of the assignment. For you, the idea is duplicate the same rhythm, so you can do it with bends or without. You can even do more bends if you want. But anyway, yeah, so just be mindful of the rest symbols. Those are there for a purpose. I am purposefully cutting out sound on those. I want it to sound staccato in those areas. Everything else, almost pretty straightforward. You got the tie at the end of each bar here, or not the end of each bar, for the entire bar here. So yeah, you just got the 8th note rest here and here. So you're not playing on the downbeat of 1, but you are playing on the upbeat of 1, not on the downbeat of 2. You are on the upbeat of 2, which ties to the downbeat of 3. And then you got the 16 quarter up here. So the first time you're doing something, you're going to have that 8th note tie to a half note. So down here it is a half note that's already inputted. So you just got to make sure you put in your note here and then hit L for the tie, just like before. Okay. Let's see. Let's play this at 61st. I gotta refresh my memory of what this is. So we got 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 2. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and... Okay. Here we go. The new parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 2. 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And 120. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the 170. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oof, way too high. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Alright. So, let me change something here. Where is it? Here we go. Okay, so say you want to do a bend. I'll just pick a different note. Well, I'll pick the same note because, why not? So if you want to do the bend thing and have it match what I did, again, I'm just going to do the same note because, well, I got to pick something. So you put in the note, hit the letter B. Brings this up. So what I want it to do is look and sound like it's going to bend up on beat 1 and come down on beat 2. So we're actually going to make this a bend release. And then I'm going to take this dot and move it all the way to the right. And then this dot, move it almost all the way. So not like that, more like this. So it still has a bit of a curve to it. Click OK. Then you come over to the next point, hit L for the tie. But then we have to hit B again. then turn this into a hold. Now it looks the way it's supposed to. So one more time. You input your note. Now you have to know if you're going to be bending up a whole step or a half step. So let's say you just bent the 12 instead. So going up to the next note, that's B to C. That's a half step. So by default, the bend is a whole step. So if you need it to be a half step, if that's what you end up playing, then what you're going to do is still make it a bend release. Then you come to the first dot and you drag it down until it's on the half. Notice that there are many lines here. So the first line that you can reach, the lowest one, is a quarter step bend. Not too often you see that, but it is possible. Here is a half step bend. Here is a 3/4 bend. I don't think I've ever seen that in music's notation, but there you go. You can have a 3/4 bend because you can bend in between the notes, so technically you have an extra note, like an in-between thing. It's kind of weird. The quarter step bends, it's not too uncommon. It's more like just like a little twist of the string, or like a twist of your finger to barely nudge that string up higher, but not high enough to actually reach the next note. But anyway, so yeah, you could go up to a step and a quarter, step and a half. That's pretty high. But anyway, most likely for the stuff you do, and what everybody does, is going to be either a full step or a half step. So if you do need to program a half step, just make sure you're on the correct line, and you'll see the half right there to make it happen. So you bring down that first, well, technically that's the first dot. So the second dot, I should say, because the first dot you can move around like that. So anyway, the second dot, the one that's sticking up here, we got to move it from the full step down to the half line. So let me just start this over. So we're going to bend the 12, the B note up to a C, and then back down. So we hit B for the bend. We select bend release. We come over here to this note, or this dot, drag it down to the half step. Then we take the last dot here, move it all the way to the right. And then this dot, we move it almost all the way to the right, still leaving a bit of a curve. Hit OK. Then you come over to the next spots. Hit L for the tie. Hit B for bend. And pick hold. And that's how it goes. Alright. Hope all that makes sense. If you have any questions, let me know. And I will see you again next week.